25 of Hair Biz Radio. Welcome. You'll learn about our special guest today. Amazing. If you like beauty, like we do, you're going to love this. Right, Z? What are you doing?
Just worry about this intro.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. All right. On.
Fine, gotcha. Okay. Welcome to episode 25 of Hair Biz Radio with your hosts Zakira and
Mikey.
And today we have the lovely Sandye Lomax of the Beauty Fetish. She is a professional makeup artist, certified eyelash extension expert and educator, and also a licensed hairstylist. She was named by Jet Magazine as the celebrity lashologist, and she is hanging out with us today. I'm super excited to have you with us on Hair Biz Radio today. How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I'm excited to be here.
What don't you do?
Right, exactly.
I need a repertoire like that. Holy cow.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Sandye. How did you get started in the beauty industry?
Oh, my. Let's see. The awkward Sandye Lomax. So when I think back, so let me just dabble around. Let's see. I'll be 46 next week. And I think when I was about maybe 9 years old, I was the awkward tall girl with the long legs and the big boat feet.
Wait, she said she's getting ready to be 46, you guys, and she looks amazing.
Thank you. I don't know what to say about that because I wish I felt it in my bones. I got up this morning and I heard one crack. So, but and I started modeling when I found out that my long legs could work for me and I could actually get paid to walk down a runway. I'm like, you're gonna pay me? I started getting into modeling. One of my older stepsister and my aunt used to model, and so I got into it from that avenue. And then I moved forward and I started working for the state of Maryland as a disability specialist. I have a brother who has epilepsy, and my grandmother was going through cancer. And so as I got older into my mid-30s, I kind of got lost in the shuffle of life, like, gosh, what do I want to do with my life? And so I sat still one day, and I always tell this story, and I say, well, what would I do for free in life? And I thought back to how I made my grandmother feel when she was battling cancer before she passed away and making her face up and the whole 9 yards. And I said, gosh, I just want to make people feel and look good.
Yeah.
And so I found my passion and my purpose. And then that's where I found my career. And so that's kind of how I got started.
I love it. It all goes together. Modeling, in beauty industry, makeup, hair, it all goes together. And
making
back to,
people feel good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Back to what you said about how you had your long legs and you were like, how am I going to make this work for me? I think a lot of times we have insecurities within ourselves that really can work for our good, but we try to deem them as bad because of what society says you're supposed to look like or how you're supposed to act or what you're supposed to be doing. So that's good that you were able to use that for your good.
What part of Maryland did you live in?
Oh my gosh. I am straight B more home of the wire.
Mikey, where are you from?
Baltimore. My family's still in Glen Burnie. Actually, my mom's still in Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Yep. I think actually my uncle lives in Glen Burnie.
Really?
Mikey gets so excited when people
where are you from?
What's up? I'm from Bethesda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were from that good side.
That good.
No. But I've been in Atlanta for 20 years, so Bethesda was not like the Bethesda it is today. When I mean, it was nice when I was growing up there.
Right.
It was nice, okay, but it wasn't like it is today.
Right.
Like today, Bethesda's expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yeah, I grew up in a neighborhood called Cherry Hill, and I actually moved to Glen Burnie, Maryland. So I felt like that made me well-rounded because I went from a predominantly African-American neighborhood to the mix, learning about different cultures, which is I guess what helped me in learning about different cultures as far as like different hair and different hair textures but yeah, be more. All right.
Okay.
So what brought you to Atlanta?
We might be related, Mikey.
You never know.
Long-lost
Ancestry, whatever it is. Yeah.
Right.
Long-lost cousins. So what brought you to Atlanta?
Atlanta. Ooh, that's a whole nother story. We need wine. I went through a breakup and I had one cousin who actually lived in Atlanta, and he said, just come get away for a while. I think you'll like it, and just come take a break. And I actually came here and I actually stayed and built the brand. And so I think I've been in Atlanta now for about 9 years. It goes by so fast. So I think I actually deserve a peach, right? I think I'm official.
I'm a Georgia peach now.
Yeah, except for the pollen.
Oh, I hate the pollen.
I suffered terribly, but yeah, I think I'm a Georgia peach now.
I think it's one thing I'm lucky about. Pollen doesn't bother me.
Oh,
I literally could snort pollen,
God.
it would not affect me. I do
you.
not know why. But even my family, they get all messed up. But they have a lot of pollen up in Maryland too.
But not like here. You can cut it. It's like with a butter knife. It's like thick yellow everywhere. It's on the dashboard. It's
it's pretty rough.
So you came to Atlanta. Did you go to cosmetology school here, or?
I actually went in New Jersey. I went to a
I'm
school
from New Jersey.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Come on, cousin New Jersey. All right.
So how was cosmetology school for you? So you figured out, that beauty, hair was your passion, and then you decided to go to cosmetology school. What was that process like for you, choosing a school, or what were some of the things that you looked for? So we have a hair business group with over 14,000.
15.
Oh, I'm sorry. With over 15,000 people.
We're live right now.
Group.
I see you. Yeah. Yep.
And so a lot of people always say, I want to go to hair school, but I don't know how to choose a hair school. I don't know what I should be looking for in a hair school. So what's something that you looked for before you actually went?
At that time, my lifestyle was very different. I was doing a lot of traveling. And so my thing was, where can I find a school where I can still travel and live this specific lifestyle that involved my relationship at the time, but still grow. And the thing about it was, I felt like, well, when I get this license, I can take it anywhere in the world. So I researched the schools in New Jersey, and I came up with Capri Institute.
Okay.
And I love the fact that they had hair. I also became a licensed esthetician, nail technician,
all in one,
makeup artist. And so, yes. And as far as makeup, I went to school in Maryland to get a makeup license, where back then you had to have one or the other, cosmetology or makeup. And so I chose makeup at that point in time.
Gotcha.
So in New Jersey, I said, okay, cosmetology, here we go, Capri Institute. And it's a great school. And I learned a lot there. So that was how I researched it. And I did it according to hours, so that I could still accumulate the hours that I needed to get the license, but that I could still travel and,
live life,
do other things that I wanted to do. Yeah.
Gotcha. So they don't always teach you everything that you know now in cosmetology school or as an esthetician or in makeup school. So what are some techniques that you were self-taught, or maybe you learned online or by watching someone else? Like, what's your favorite to do that you are like, oh, I taught myself how to do this?
It was so crazy. When I did my modeling, like, say, for instance, I was on the Dark and Lovely box, and there's a makeup artist named Morel Hollis, and he's amazing. And I kind of studied how he was doing my makeup. So I learned a lot by sitting in the chair.
Oh, wow.
Yes. and studying. And I did a lot of Paul Mitchell runway hair shows. They're international shows. And so I'd watch the hairstylists and how they cut. So I guess that's why I said both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot, and just by watching and observing and just having that passion for the beauty industry.
Yeah.
I learned a lot by watching. But I have to say the business was self-taught. Like, I didn't have somebody to teach me a lot of things about the business side of the beauty industry. And I think when you're honing your craft in beauty, you're always learning. There's always something new to learn. Yeah. And I know a lot of people feel like they can learn a lot of things, like on YouTube. When it comes to lashes, I'm like, no, that's hands-on technique. Yeah. You can't look at YouTube and learn that. So, but self-taught is, I guess, sometimes sitting in the mirror, playing with different products. Yeah. A lot of times before I refer products to my clients, I try them first, whether it be lash serums and things like that. So, I guess I'd have to say that's my self-taught, especially the business side. I had to learn a lot of things the hard way.
What are some of the...
We love Paul Mitchell, too.
Yeah, of course. Paul Mitchell's our friends.
Love Paul Mitchell.
What's some of the things that happened when you were just getting your business started that you're like, okay, I really messed this up?
Oh my gosh. You mean up until today? No. Because it's a constant growing, learning process. I mean, now I have a lot of, here's one of the things. I used to think that you had to make a certain amount of money before you got an accountant. And now I'm like, no, once you start a business, you need to, it's a business.
Yeah.
And that's how you have to follow through as a business. I guess one of the things, trying to figure out, okay, should it be an LLC? Different things like that.
Yeah.
Investing, trying to figure out when you're first starting out, I believe that if people see what you're investing in yourself, then they will believe you're serious about what you're doing.
Definitely.
But I also had to learn how to invest. I had to, one of the things that I've really just learned maybe a couple years ago is with the accountant, okay, this is your personal card. This is your business card. You purchase with your business card. And sometimes, when you're growing a business, you're ordering product and you might say, okay, what's more money in this account? Swipe this one, and now I've learned, okay, whether you move money to the business account to use it for business, no matter what, this is your structure. When the accountant goes to look at it, this is, use this for business only.
Oh, yeah.
So that's definitely one of the things that I learned the hard way.
That's really good though.
Yeah.
That's good because I think some people, will get started with businesses, and like you said, we don't think we need an accountant, or we don't think we need an attorney, or we don't think we need like a someone that's just going to walk us through the business because we're so small.
Right.
But I think if you start off with that, you'll have a head start from a lot of people because some people just jump into it and it's like, I'm a business owner, but you're really not a business owner because you're not doing business the proper way.
Exactly.
So I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love with especially the business credit cards. I've talked about it in some of the previous podcasts. We actually had one podcast dedicated to it. Was, the one great thing about starting your business is make sure you get a business credit card that gives you points.
Oh yeah,
and Sky Miles.
Mikey
Yes,
flies all over the place.
Nobody follows me on Instagram, and that I'm fine with that. But you're gonna be seeing some travels this year, and I'm not paying for any of it.
That's so good.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean the amount of miles I get in a day is crazy. Like especially at this point. I mean,
in a day.
In a day.
Let me move this mic and we talk off air.
Yeah, no, like
I need to know the secrets.
It is crazy, but what's funny is for me personally, it's like the motivation always to grow the business. Like I'm just,
always.
It's never good enough, and I always tell like my staff, like, look. No matter how good you do, I'm going to say, yes, you know what? You did really well on this. But what's next and how can we do better? Like, it's just, we're not going to stop. Like, that's the team we're building.
Mikey said it the nice way. Normally, he's like, nah, you could do better. nah. I'm like, dang,
okay, I'm on camera,
like
so I got to be
nice.
Yeah, so, but so it's like great to make the money, right? Which is cool. But we, because we're still in a very fast growing spurt right now, so we're reinvesting most of the money, not taking money out for like the owners or just doing stupid stuff with it. But one of the nice benefits, I'm telling you, is those rewards points. Oh my god, yeah, it's amazing.
Okay,
it's amazing. Yeah, American Express, thank you.
Yes, thank
Chase,
you, American Express,
thank you.
for sure.
Cap One, Spark Business, 2 points on every dollar spent. Thank you.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
So let's get to the Beauty Fetish. So tell us about Beauty Fetish, what it encompasses, like what you offer, how you got started with that, and how long you guys have been around.
Where's your location?
Yeah.
I am located in Midtown. I love my location.
We're in Midtown.
So I am right on 10th and Piedmont. So I'm right by Piedmont
You
Park.
are in Atlanta.
Right.
I mean, you are in the heart.
I am
like
in
if
the
you had
heart.
Atlanta and you had a heart.
Yes,
it's basically,
that's it right here. That's
right,
what keeps
it is
beating,
right
there
there.
in the heart. But it's a gift and a curse. Like, and the other thing is location. And they do teach you that one thing in cosmetology.
Oh, you learned that.
One thing we learned.
Location. And I really feel like I lucked up on a jewel. The gift and curse is Piedmont Park. I have to keep on my calendar when there are events and parades.
Festivals, parades.
And they're blocking streets off.
Right.
But again, when you talk about, okay, it's never good enough. No, I'm not going to shut down. I'm going to be out there putting strip lashes then on people walking down the street.
Heck
and,
yeah.
have my Beauty Fetish sign out there. So I've learned how to use being in Midtown by Piedmont Park to my advantage. But I love the location. As far as the name Beauty Fetish, a lot of people, and I never really toss like celebrity names around and things like that, but a lot of people do know a little bit about my background, and I do have a lot of celebrity clients. And back in the day when I was learning cosmetology and I was trying to come up with the name, what would I want it to be? And I was one day talking to Mary J. Blige, actually, and I came up with Beauty Fetish. And thank you, Mary, because she's one of the ones that let me. I was the first to do lashes on her. So, but I love the name Beauty Fetish because it's like an umbrella for all the things that I like to do. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, okay, I can put makeup under it. I can put lashes under it. I can put nail techniques under it. So Beauty Fetish is how I came up with the name. I just have a beauty fetish, but my mantra is true beauty starts within, because I don't want beauty fetish to sound vain to the average person who doesn't understand what my brand is. So that's the thing, is true beauty starts within. Mm-hmm. But that's how I came
And a
up
lot
with
of people
fetish.
have a fetish for beauty, like makeup junkies,
Yes.
like not in a bad way either,
right.
like in a good way. Like they love a good lipstick or a good eyeshadow. Or love to get their hair done all the time. So that's really
get
good.
your hair done every 2 weeks. I'm fine with it.
Yes.
I'm fine with it.
That's the best part about lashes. You got to get a feel.
Oh,
Come on back.
So how was that process of getting started? So is it a standalone salon, or is it a suite, or?
It's actually a suite. And it's funny because I just spoke on the artist and entrepreneur panel for PMAC, the Professional Makeup Artist.
I saw that, yeah.
Mosby has. And I was saying that sometimes you have to get what works for you. So even though I have a salon license, I'm not actually doing hair. So I have a suite, not like your average where you hear about the beauty suites and there's a big building and I have my own actual suite. And the thing about it is I don't have to pay water and lights.
Right.
And so most of the time I do bridal hair. And so bridal hair doesn't consist of the whole, coloring and shampooing. Right. It's more so dry hair. And then if you're working on TV and film and doing hair, it's not like, you need to sync in your particular location. So, I always say find what works for you. And so my suite works for me as far as lashes and makeup.
Yeah. So we have some people that say, well, I don't want to do a suite. I'd rather have a salon. I want to be a salon owner. But you basically just say it's okay to have a suite. A salon isn't made for everyone. You don't have to have a salon.
No.
A lot of pressure comes with owning a salon.
Exactly. Exactly.
They want the salon, but they don't want the work that comes with having a salon.
And it's work.
Yeah.
It's constant work. I mean, you guys know it never ends. It's constant work. It's constant branding. It's constant investing in yourself. Like sometimes it's like, oh, I have to tell my friends, I'm sorry, I can't talk on the phone tonight, because I'm a late night person, but I'm trying to do everything on my own. And it's like from running, like now I have like Asia and a lot of other people who are like helping me out. Yeah. But before it was like a one woman show. And it's like, oh my gosh.
That can get overwhelming.
It's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
And people don't get it. It affects relationships and I mean, all of the above, because it's your baby.
Yeah.
And you take it seriously and you're like, okay, somebody's got to do it. So it's got to be me. And so it's like, okay, tonight is the night I got to sit up till 2 a.m. and get it done no matter how tired I am. So,
so now, like, you have so much going on. How are you balancing entrepreneurship? How are you balancing it?
You must have a good to-do list app or
Right.
something.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning. I think that's an ongoing battle for me. It is. And I just recently got over the pneumonia and the flu. And it really nearly took me out. And I promised myself that I would change my lifestyle. But it's so easy to fall back into old habits, especially when you're running a business and the business just starts going. It's a blessing, but it's also a gift and a curse, because you're like, wait a minute.
Slow down. Look, I asked for all of this
today. I just want to eat lunch. And you find, so I've been trying to carve out a lunch break just to eat healthier, because sometimes I will go back to back all day. As much as I love my job, sometimes I'm just like everybody else. I'm ready to go home. Everybody wants to leave their job no matter how much you love it. Yeah. And so some days I'm like, okay, I want to get out and see some sunshine before the day ends. And but I find myself now carving out lunch breaks. Just trying to trying to find a balance. I'm trying to get massages
Oh,
more
yeah.
because I noticed I had gift cards for massages like for my birthday from like 2 years ago.
That you never
wow.
used.
And so,
Oh,
but
wow.
you guys know, but in the beauty industry, you're so busy taking care of everybody else
Yeah.
that sometimes you put yourself on the back burner. And so now I'm learning to put me first.
Yeah. That saying, you can't pour from an empty cup, is so true.
It's so true
Yeah.
because then I perform at my best when I'm well rested,
Yep.
when I've eaten, you know. So I'm learning to say no. That's a part of my balance. Learning to say no.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of people, especially new business owners, they don't take health as seriously as they should because how efficient you are, the way you think, right? And it's proven, you can read all the studies on the internet, whatnot. It's like when you work out or just walk at night, you eat healthy, like your brain works better. As a business owner, you need your brain. Like you need to be creative. You're solving problems all day. I can see a direct correlation when I'm eating healthy and working out all the time for how much stuff I can get done in the business. And like the ideas, and I'll come in and be like, Zakira, you won't believe this idea. And she's like, I know she's thinking, here we go again.
No.
Here we go. And but it's like amazing the difference.
It
And
is.
taking a break, like sometimes, because I'm the kind of person, I can just work nonstop, like 24/7, 365. I don't care because I love, it's such a, you know, it's fun at this point. So it's like, I don't have to stop. But same time, when you do take breaks, you do take trips and just get away or work from a different location, it's unbelievable what that can do for you.
Gosh, it's so unbelievable. Like I said, after being sick, I realized, okay, I did this to-do list because when you get that close to death, I had like 109 fever.
109.
And I didn't know you could have a fever that high.
I don't either.
So when I fell into the emergency room, they were like, well, your organs should have shut down by now.
Wow.
And, you know, and so it scared me. And so even still now learning to breathe again in my lungs. And sometimes it's frustrating because like I could keep going and going and going and going. And then my creative juices just flow. And so then it gets frustrating because I'm like, no, I don't want to be tired right now. But my body I'm learning to listen to my body. When my body says slow down, I'm learning to slow down. And I have great friends now who are like, slow down. And before I wouldn't listen because I'm like, you guys don't understand because running a business is really hard. And, you know, if I miss a day, I miss $1, you know. So yeah, it's important to like shut down, take time off, take a minute, and then you re-energize. Like you said, in your mind is like you get like creative again. You're like, yeah, okay, what about this? What about this? And so that's where I am now with saying, okay, I need to stop and take a vacation or take a day off and make it a staycation, even if it's in my home.
Shut the phone off and just
yes.
Yes, I think you're very similar to me where you're just so eager, you're ready to make it happen like every day, but then you take that one day off and it's like the whole time you're like, I want to be working.
I know.
You feel so guilty.
And you're like this, and you feel guilty. There's so much opportunity out there, but then it's like, okay, you take the whole day off. You're, you know, maybe halfway through the day, your brain shuts down that portion a little bit, but then that next day, you're just
on
like
fire.
On
fire.
Yes. Fire. That's so true. That's so true. Yeah.
So I just started wearing individual lashes. We have the 3D Mink strips. So I was like a fan of those. First, I was wearing Ardell's, like the Wispies and Beauty Supply Store. I will never wear Beauty Supply Store lashes ever again in my life. So talk to those people who are like, I want to wear lashes, but I don't really know where to start. Like, talk to us about the benefits or the pros and cons of like the strips versus the individuals versus the clusters. Talk about that.
Because we confused.
Amazing,
by the way. So
Thank you.
It's so funny because that's the first thing I noticed. And now I have my friends doing the same thing. They're like in the grocery store and they're like, girl, this lady checking me out, got all this glue going across her eyelid. So, you know, what's funny is when I first started out doing eyelash extensions, I actually studied through Nova Lash. And back then, I think that was 2007. So I'm a little over 10 years. And yeah, it goes
experience.
Sandy. Yes. So, but back then, they only had pretty much Extreme Lash and Nova Lash. They were like the parenting companies, where now, I mean, there are hundreds, you know, of brands as far as lashes. And also back then, my basic clientele was more so celebrities. They were up on it. And it was good because if they had to travel and swim one day or take a vacation, or they had to perform, they didn't have to worry about strips lifting and the whole 9 yards. Now my clientele is, I mean, from stay-home moms to judges to news anchors to, I mean, you're just your everyday woman. I even have some guys. I mean,
Okay.
just gonna say, and I have a lot of cancer survivors, and so there comes in different lengths and widths of lashes, and that's where you have to learn. Who can get what type of lash. And sometimes you have to be the burrow of bad news, I always say. Some people come in and they're like, oh, I want my lashes to look like this, and they're showing you strip lashes. And individual lashes go according to your individual lash.
Yeah.
Now, of course, there are techniques now like we call the hybrid lashes, and that's where you're mixing a classic lash, which is more so like a synthetic lash, with maybe a mink lash, or a 0.7, which is a very, very super fine lash. And they call those 3D lashes. So you can add 3, 4, 5, and they're very featherweight. So they don't weigh down on your lashes, which is mostly what I use on my cancer surviving lashes when survivors, when they're rebuilding their lashes.
So their lashes come out as well.
Yes, I've actually had some people who have actually gone through and finished chemo, and they hadn't lost any hair or lashes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But most often you do. And I also say when you're going through, don't put lashes on them, because you don't know what the process is.
Right.
You don't want people paying for that, and then just. So there are so many different kinds of lashes, different widths. They're duly noted as millimeters. So it starts from like a 7 or 8. This is going to sound like Greek to the average person. And they go up to sometimes like an 18, which is a really long lash.
What length are yours now?
So right now I've gone up to a 13.
Okay.
But our lashes don't all grow one length.
Right.
So I would say in your inner corners where they're usually shorter, I usually go with an 8. Kind of build up to like a 9 and 10, and everybody's different. So I customize for the particular person. I customize your lash, because everybody's lashes, you have some people where you're like, I'm sorry, lashes aren't good for you. Your lashes grow like pretzels. They're crawling all over the place. They aren't going to stay, on. And so, but there's so many different kinds nowadays. You have and then the hype of, this is what I hate. The hype of when people say mink lashes and they're trying to charge more.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, people are not using mink lashes because they're so fine. They really don't hold the curl. Now you can use them to blend, and sometimes you can actually use them. You have J-Lo and different people, you'll hear them say mink lashes, and the price will be more because you're paying more for that particular lash. But the average person isn't wearing a mink lash, no matter what people are telling you.
It's not.
I'm sorry to tell you, 9 times out of 10, it's not just a 100% mink lash. Most of them are synthetic because they hold the curl.
Gotcha.
You have silk lashes. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah, they use mink, they use synthetic, they use human hair.
Exactly.
They just mix up everything.
So many. There's so much. I mean, it's ongoing.
But just in case anybody was wondering, I do have my United States Department of Agriculture license to
Here
bring
we
in.
go.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Import. Thank you. The real deal.
Yes,
so
the real deal.
Not everybody has that. So if you need my certificate, maybe I'll put it on that Instagram.
Yes, and I'll have some because I love that. That's the thing about the hybrid lashes is that you can mix the mink with the classic lash.
Yeah.
And it really gives it a great full, fluffy, kind of wispy look. So when you're talking about the Ardell wispy lashes, you can create that look.
Yeah, I love wispy.
Yeah, and that's the great part about it. So it's more like American volume lashes mixed with the classic lashes.
And the funny thing I find is just dealing with a few clients over the years, not even if it's like everyone's like, okay, mink is the best. It's not just because you have mink doesn't mean it's going to work the best for you. And doesn't mean you know how to manage it. It's same thing with hair. Like when we have like the pure raw hair, like you're not going to get any better than this. People are like, this hair is horrible. And that's fine because they're used to like the processed hair that's like, coated in silicone and other stuff, which is okay for a lot of people, a lot of the cheaper hair. And that's okay. They're just not used to it or just don't think it's good. So it's funny, you really have to find the right product for the right person, the budget. There's so many other factors than just, J-Lo saying mink lashes and then think that they're going to work for you. They might not work for you, and it's okay.
Exactly.
Like, it'll be all right. You don't have to be like J-Lo.
Right. And that's what I'm saying about, when people tell everybody they're using mink lashes, 9 times out of 10, it may not be a mink lash, but a client won't know that,
right?
But
they just want what they saw.
But yeah, it sounds good to walk around and say,
I have mink lashes on.
Yes, it sounds divine. I have on mink lashes
with my mink hair.
But yeah, sometimes it may not go with your lifestyle. I have a lot of people who are like women who are trainers or women who work out a lot, and so again, different lashes for different lifestyles too.
So what would you say the time span of how long will individuals last for people?
So I tell everybody, everybody's cycle is different. So your lash growth. So here's the thing about lashes. It's the same exact cycle of growth as our hair. So how you brush your hair and you see some fall in the sink and on the floor? It's the same exact as catagen, anagen, and telogen stage. So it's different stages of growth. And so I always tell the client, don't be alarmed if you're getting a full set for the first time and you see a lash shed tomorrow. It could be that lash was at its full potential of growth and ready to shed off, and then a new one is coming in. So 9 times out of 10, if you have a microscopic lens and you get up close, in which we use a white pad, because if you put a white, or say for instance, you can put a paper towel down and close your eye and look in the mirror, you can see your lashes, because most people are like, I don't have lashes. I'm like, you really do have a lot of lashes, but yeah, I guess the thing about everybody's different. So some people come back for a touch up in 2 weeks. Some people maybe 3 weeks. Some people maybe 4 weeks. And so it just depends on how fast. Some people I put a lot of my clients on biotin if I'm trying to get their lashes to grow back healthy. So biotin, lashes, skin, and nails. And so sometimes that will increase the growth. Some clients I will put on lash serums. That'll increase your cycle of lash growth. So everybody's different, but I say up to maybe at least 4 to 5 weeks, you're probably going to be going past the stage of a touch up and starting to lean into a full set again for some.
Gotcha. Okay. Teach us, Sandy. Teach us. So, you've been doing lashes for a very long time. Yeah. So right now you're doing trainings one-on-one. Lashes, it's like a trend right now. Everyone wants to learn how to do individuals. Everyone wants their own lash company right now. So you're actually teaching people the art of lashes. Yes. So, just talk to us about those trainings, those classes, and how you're doing that.
I love teaching. That's the thing. I'm the person that I feel like there's enough for everybody. Yeah. So people are like, you're giving us all your tips and your secrets. I'm like, why not? I mean, it's up to you to actually master the technique. But so I can tell you all day long,
but are you going to do it?
But you have to master the technique. But I love teaching it. And I guess my way of teaching is you don't just come in and learn, okay, lashes, it's so much more to it, because again, eye shapes, different. You got to know what a baby lash looks like, and you shouldn't lash it because you want it to grow out healthy. You got to know what kind of lash to put on a lash. Is that lash going to be too heavy and pull the lash from the root? So the care of lashes, we talk about sanitation. We also talk about the anatomy of the eye. Why do you have eyelashes? It's just like a dog has whiskers, and as soon as something gets close to it, it alarms them. So lashes keep out debris and things like that. So my style of teaching isn't just about, you learn the technique of lashes. No, you have to learn about the diseases. Some people come in, they have pink eye. I'm sorry, no,
I'm not touching
not
today.
So there's so much more to it than when you just say learning how to apply eyelashes. I want people to have the education behind, the technique. I want you to know that, when a client comes in and they ask a question, because what happens is you're over top of somebody's eyes with sharp tools. And so you have to be confident so that the client feels confident, so that's just my style of teaching. And I love teaching it. I love when students or, they come in, and I would say nowadays we're talking about state board getting involved. So most times I'm saying, I really want you to be a licensed esthetician or hairstylist or have some kind of license, before going into trying to become an eyelash extensionist.
That's good. Yeah. A lot of people aren't teaching the art of eyes, or diseases or the anatomy of the, like, a lot of people aren't doing that when they teach their lash courses. So that's really good. So if you guys are in Atlanta and are looking for a lash course and really want thorough knowledge on it, make sure you go by and check out Sandye Lomax at the Beauty Fetish in Midtown. Definitely.
Yeah, I like how you go really deep into the learning and more of just more than just the lash, but the eye and why everything happens, so someone can have a deep understanding of it. And
it's almost like market research. Like,
it really, I think people would be like, oh, that's why, and they kind of start connecting the dots. Just because you have so much experience. Because I know there are a lot of people that teach lashes that just learned the month before.
Right.
That is true.
Or they just practice on a mannequin head.
And
I'm like, no, you can't just practice on a mannequin head. You have to practice on a human.
Yeah.
You know?
So how long are your classes?
Usually I'll do a 2-day class.
Okay.
Now, and if I do a 1-day class, I'm sorry, you don't get your certificate right away. You get a temporary certificate, but I refuse to let you go out there and glue somebody's eyes closed and say beauty fetish.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's where I got my license.
I do require that you practice, send pictures of your work, continuously time yourself. I don't care if you're using, like, from hair, the perm timer or hair, color timer. Time yourself so that you can see how you're growing. And practice is everything, because not everybody has the same type of lash.
Right.
So this technique is something that you really master over time, because you have to do different people to learn different lashes to be able to distinguish what kind of lash this person needs. Again, some people come in and you're like, okay, I understand that you want this particular look. I can't create that miracle for you, or I can. So, yeah.
I like it. So what's that experience? So if someone were to come get their lashes done, walk into the Beauty Fetish, what is that experience that they're going to get before they walk out of the door?
Ooh, that's a good question. So again, this is something I just talked about. I was just saying how I learned how to become a better businesswoman. So usually, I'm a kind, nice person anyway. Everybody has that other side. But so of course, it's a pleasant environment. It's a secured environment, because I have a lot of celebrity clients. So it's very private. It's very personal.
Yeah.
And they can come in. That's why a lot of clients dump on me. It's almost like counseling.
Yeah.
And the room is like, it's the lights are dim. I have a lot of clients who fall asleep, so they say lash naps are the best naps.
Zakira knows about lash naps.
Yes. That's when you find yourself snoring like a drunk trucker, I always say. Like, you doze off. And it's like, I've learned, some of my clients have been coming to me for years, so I know they'll start talking, then they doze off, and they don't think that I noticed they dozed off, and then they'll, like, ask a question again, and then they'll doze back off. And then I have some clients who, they just fall asleep. It's their downtime. It's their phone off, and then I have some who are just busy businesswomen who phone is ringing. Okay, who is this? So a lot of times I learn secrets I don't want to know. You're talking to that person? That person's calling you? Oh, what? I don't even want to know half of the stuff that I know. But yeah, so it's that type of environment. It feels personal.
Yeah.
But again, no matter how personal it gets, I've learned that I had to make it where business is business, because, it feels really warm. It feels inviting. Again, I shared in consultation, I shared the education behind your lashes, how they're going to grow, how to take care of them. So you get all of that in a comfortable environment. But I've also learned to say, okay, but business is business. So even though we've developed, a lot of my clients I've developed good relationships with, watch some to have a baby. Kids are now 5 years old,
Wow.
But again, it's one of those things where I had to learn, okay, you can come in and we can be cordial, but you still got to pay me.
Yeah.
Don't come and negotiate with me. This is my price. And so, you just get, and I understand, I've set it up where I use Schedulicity for my clients. So a lot of my clients book online for the most part, 99.1%.
That's good.
Yeah.
Book online, because what I had to also learn is that downtime, that I can't be on the phone all day saying, okay, responding to this client and this client. And if you have over 600 some clients and heavy rotation, then you never get any sleep. And then you're like, oh, I got to wait to give this person the time, but wait and see if they respond to this time. And I couldn't enjoy dinner with friends. I couldn't, so now I have it where it's set up on Schedulicity, and they have to also make a deposit, because that was the other thing is, okay, a Saturday, it's beautiful out. You've scheduled an appointment. And as much as I want to enjoy my day, then you hit me last minute. You decide to take a road trip with the kids,
Lord.
you know, or you're stuck at the mall and it's just a beautiful day. And I really, really don't need too many. So, you know, I can reschedule till, you know, next week. Oh, and then I'm sitting there
That's
and
terrible.
I'm like, and now I got to wait for the next client. So that's why I say they've taught me how to be a better businesswoman and how to structure my business. So yeah, but that's what, you know, they have expectations of me and I have expectations of them, but that's really what they get. They get a really warm, personal, professional experience when they come to Beauty Fetish.
Got it.
How long did it take to train your clients? Because I'm sure like you probably initially weren't taking it all online, and then all of a sudden you're getting these text messages and be like, hey, like, I appreciate the text, but like I'm doing the scheduling online. I know a lot of people are probably
Some
going
people
through
get
this right now.
offended when you
And
do
people
that.
get
And it's like
offended.
business is business.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I had to learn.
So how long did it take to train the clients
Oh
to
my
kind of
gosh.
get them to book online?
I want to say it didn't take long, only because it pushed me to that point where I felt like I had no choice, because it almost became a matter of live or die, because it was sending me almost to a place where I felt like I was close to having a nervous breakdown. Seriously. Like, you know, I was like, I can't. So I have 2 phones. So my one phone is strictly for business. The ringer, 9 times out of 10, I never turn it on, but it tells me every time somebody has scheduled,
Gotcha.
you know, and sometimes I'll give that to my assistant and I let now her, you know, deal with when people, you know, send a text and it's like, okay, if it's somebody new and somebody referred somebody, then it's like, okay, I'll explain in the breakdown, but scheduling is done online. There's a deposit required, you know, and there's a nice way to say it.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
it took a minute for some people, because you have some older clients who aren't, I guess, technology isn't their thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so it kind of scared them. It was like, do what? I can barely figure out a text and an emoji.
You don't need your
want me
lashes
to
done there.
download an app, but it's so easy. It's so convenient. And so once I got them to understand how it was, it worked for them. It was more of you have 9 times out of 10, like, and what I had to do was, okay, well, I'm in a doctor's office. I can't see my schedule right now. Please go online because you have a better chance of locking something in by the time I get out of the doctor's office and somebody else goes online and books. And so that's where clients were like, oh, hold on, because they didn't want to miss, you know, being able to book. So it's kind of like a lot of things I had to do to manipulate the situation to get them to start going online. But yeah, it didn't take long, but it did take a minute, you know, to get some people to cross over.
Life is probably way better.
Oh, it's like smelling roses in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, utilizing technology now, like some people I just see and I'm like, why do you even do it? Like, how do you even have time to do something like this? Like, all you have to do is this. You have this much more time. It only costs this much. Are you like, and sometimes I'm break it down just to be real annoying.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, you're doing it this way. You're spending this many probably hours. This costs this. So basically, you're working for like $1 an hour.
Exactly.
Is that how much you're worth? Because I have work for you if you're going to work for $1 an hour.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
How about that?
I mean, it was life changing. I mean, really, it was. It was like I had more time to be creative. You know, I had more time to just calm my mental down than feeling like, oh my gosh, I got to keep checking the phone, or, you know, oh my gosh, I don't want to miss this client. You know, I don't want to lose this client, you know. But once, and I think clients start to respect you, and they start to respect your business as a business.
When you run it as such.
When you run it as such. And so, you know, with Schedulicity, you can send out, and I know some people use Style Seat and other, you know, but Schedulicity has worked for me. So, it's like you can send out emails. It sends out automatic reminders.
Yeah.
So I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So I would have a few that say, oh, I forgot. Nope. It shows me right here where the text reminder went out and the email reminder went out. And so, yeah, it is. It's life-changing for me.
Does it have a follow-up email where it's like, hey, thanks for stopping by. Can you leave a review?
So it's so funny because, you know, they're constantly growing. So again, like any other business, it's constantly growing. And so, you know, they do have that now where you can remember a client's birthday. It'll remind you, you know, and things like that. And, you know, hey, it's about time for you to come in for a touch up and things like that. So yeah, it's the best thing ever. And especially now that, you know, I found the one thing that worked for me is when I got sick and I really had to take time off, because a lot of times we'll still, work and push through, because again, if you're self-employed and an entrepreneur, it's like, okay, that miss a day, miss
You
a
eat
dollar,
what you kill.
thing. But having them do a deposit is also great, because again, if they cancel, at least I made something, and then with doing a deposit, I can wake up and there's money in my account in the morning, because they might be up at 2 a.m. and they're booking online, and so that's a good thing, is because, you're making money while you sleep. And that's how I want to grow now. I want to figure out how to make money while I'm asleep.
Yeah. People need to realize that, like, if they book the time, they have to put a deposit down, because you could be making money from someone else. So I lost my $25. You're like, but I lost $150.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
now I'm just sitting here and trying to find someone else, because today I was trying to get all these people in or something else. Like, people need to realize that. And then, the disconnect, Zakira and I somewhat have this problem with our side of the business, because how do I explain this nicely?
Don't do it nicely.
I try to explain to people, like, so we have this Facebook group and I post a lot in there. We get people going. We give away stuff all the time. Like, we just try to have fun with the group. Educational, not spammy. Like, all these Facebook groups are filled with spam.
Right.
I will block you. People know this is my block finger. I say, this is my block finger. Like, I joke about the block finger. Like, let's keep it professional, stuff like that. But sometimes, people will try to, like, Facebook message me, or somehow they got my phone number. Like, first of all, I pick up my phone for 10 people. Really? Like, 1, 2, a couple of them are in this room right now, and then my mom and a few others,
Exactly.
but like the Facebook messages, people wanted, like, ask you questions, or, hey, like, something happened to my order, or this. And it's like, I just can't answer it all. I have a whole team that will get to you. I promise they will. We have support ticket systems, the whole deal. And I try to be nice, because, but you're the business owner. I'm like, yes, but let me tell you, if your phone breaks, okay?
Whoa. Yes.
Sorry, you got the case. If your phone breaks,
Right.
you're not, and this is a real extreme example, you're not contacting Tim Cook at Apple, the CEO, and saying, I have a problem with my phone.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And I, like, try to explain it. And, like, sometimes people don't get it until they kind of get their business going and seeing what's going on, and, like, okay, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's that whole training your client base and to, like, understand, like, hey, this is kind of how we work. We have systems in place.
Yep.
I'm going to give the same answer as my staff, because I'm not going to step on my staff's toes.
Right.
Like, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
And that's just part of the growth. Like, not that I don't want to help people, and it's not that I don't care.
Right.
But it's like, you can only do so much in a day.
That's where I needed an assistant to come in, because I was trying to run everything, and I was trying to be a pleaser to every client, which was driving me nuts. And then if you have your business on Yelp, you do have to answer questions in a certain amount of time, so that it shows, that you answer within a certain amount of time. So it keeps your business, rated high, And so those are the ones that I do try to get to. But as far as, like, the phone and the text, and I always say, as far as I get DMs, and I had to learn to ignore them, because this is not my business. And it clearly it has this is the link in the bio of Instagram or Facebook into how you go and book. Now, I was just saying this morning, when you get new clients, they do have questions.
Oh, yeah.
So I do try to return the call and answer the questions, which is still hard, because life is going. And some people think that your job that's just it. Like, you have no life outside of your job. And I'm like, I know it looks that way on social media, because, that's what we're doing. We're marketing our brand. But I do have a life. There are times when even if it's just my me time, and I might just want to sit still, and somebody's like, well, you posted, or I saw her post, or something came up, and they don't understand somebody can be running your Instagram page.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm working right now, and my phone is on silent, because 9 times out of 10, my clients are asleep, unless I'm doing makeup, but still the work phone stays on silent. But it is something to train. And then you have celebrity clients who feel like I'm special, and that's real talk, and they're like, going online, I want to text you the day before, and so, again, it's finding that balance, and training clients is challenging.
Yeah, you have to have a life.
You have to have a life.
Because I can tell sometimes, like, I'll post something, in our group, and then I can see like it'll say someone wants to connect with you because they think like I just posted it.
Yep.
But it was really at 5 a.m. when I really started working the day. I know it's 10 p.m. at night now, but I started at 5 a.m. and I scheduled these posts because it allows you to schedule.
Did you hear that, people? We can schedule them.
Yeah, like schedule posts. So like maybe by 10 o'clock, I might be able to be like, you know what? I'm going to take 15 minutes to relax before I go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just trying to like, you know, I try to. Sometimes it kind of opens up a can of worms when I do message back because I try because I really do care, but it's not always easy.
Right.
Yeah. So part of the experience at the shop is you do the Beauty Fetish show. So talk to us a little bit about what that looks like.
The Beauty Fetish show. So I titled it because I am my brand. I titled it The Beauty Fetish Show with Sandye Lomax, and I came up with it. Again, sometimes when you're doing, you always have to reinvent yourself, and you have to find the fun in what you do. And I was getting bombarded. I'll just say this: one day, I was at work and I had about maybe 8 clients back to back, and one client came in.
No break.
And no break. So what I do is now I would leave like mini muffins, like things I can kind of chew on that clients don't hear me chew on it. And this is when I wasn't taking care of myself and putting everybody else first. But I had clients who came in, and one client, she and her husband had been trying to get pregnant for a long time and they couldn't. I had one client who had her breast removed, and she didn't think she could get pregnant, and here it is 11 years later, she right when she was about to have a hysterectomy, she got pregnant. And then I had another client who was in there, and she was happy she had gotten pregnant. And then I had another client, this is all in one day.
Wow.
I had another client who came in and she lost her job, and then another one got a job, and then another one, her aunt passed away and her mother called, and so I'm trying to get the patches off her eyes, and she's crying and hysterical. So I literally went home and drank a whole bottle of wine. I felt like I had a baby, lost an auntie.
Wow.
And then that's when I realized what it was doing to me and my energy, which is something I had to learn to control. And then the other thing was, I hear so many amazing stories every day that I said, well, how can I flip this? How can I create a platform where, you know, these people can tell their stories, because so many people can relate to them, you know? And so that's where I came up with the Beauty Fetish Show with Sandye Lomax. So it's more so about giving a platform for people to share their testimonies and stories, and, you know, just something inspirational so that people can relate to. But in the end, we talk about beauty. And whether it be males, share a grooming experience. And it doesn't have to be all dark. You know, it's in the end, that's why we talk about beauty, because it lightens everything up, no matter what the conversation is about. And so it's for my everyday client, my celebrity clients, and, you know, whatever projects they're working on, whatever books they've written, again, testimonies that they may want to share, cancer survivors. I just wanted to provide that platform. And again, you can share what products you use, which, you know, a hair product, what's a bad makeup experience you had, you know, where you walked away looking like a clown.
Oh, gosh.
You know, and so that's pretty much the Beauty Fetish Show with Sandye Lomax, and I call it my passion purpose project. I'm not getting paid for it. It was just one of those things I woke up and I just wanted to do from my heart, and I just created the platform. And I actually, it's one of those things where, again, the self-taught thing, I'm teaching myself along the way. And I feel like once you invest in yourself and people see your passion and your purpose, then other people join in. And so that's the stage of where I am with it now.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. So what are some of your favorite products that you swear by? It's like, oh my God, I've got to use this.
Oh my gosh. There's a rose lip balm that I get from Sephora that I can't live without. I have a habit of biting my lips, or if I'm nervous, I'm picking my lips.
Wow.
So that's one of my must have. I've become addicted to Fenty, Rihanna's line. Her nude lip gloss.
Okay, I haven't tried the lip gloss, but I've tried her highlighter, and I love it.
It's everything.
Really?
As far as the other thing that I need to have along with it is my lashes.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like I can throw on lip balm and I can just go, and it makes me feel like, you know, like most women, once you get addicted to it, when you take your lashes off or they've all like grown out and you're like, oh, I need a full set, you just feel so naked-eyed. And you feel so like, gosh, I feel like I look sick,
Yes.
you know? And so my lashes is definitely one of those things I just like to wake up and feel like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to take on the world now, even with just some lip balm. But, and let's see, another product that I have to have is something I'm used to asking that question. I use Aveeno cleansing pads because one side has the exfoliant and the other is soft. And so I actually love those pads. That's a must have for me at night. And just that's pretty much it. I'm turning into a water person.
Gotcha.
I wasn't before. I have a friend that has me like turning.
So you drink water all the time.
It's usually it's like water or wine. Now it's like, okay.
Wait, total extreme.
I'm turning
or the
total extreme.
opposite.
But after being sick and when you have the flu and you have lung issues as far as pneumonia, you have to drink a lot of fluids. And so I was never like this big on water person. And now I'm actually just flushing. I see the difference in my skin. People say that all the time, water, 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 and your skin. And I actually see the difference. So that's like become a must have, is that I have to have some water nearby.
That's all I drink is water.
Have you tried LaCroix?
I have, but I see what you're drinking now with the mango. No.
Those are so good.
Are you about to turn me on to something else?
I mean, LaCroix is good.
Okay.
It's good if you're strictly water. Like for me, I know Zakira too, we pretty much only drink water. I don't drink any sodas, no other stuff. I drink either water or tequila on the rocks. That's pretty much my two things.
Oh,
and
you're my kind of guy, man.
LaCroix. And it's like if you drink like a Coke here or Pepsi, whatever, and then you go to a LaCroix tastes like nothing, right?
Really?
But like when you stick to like clean food, the water, stuff like that, when you actually drink it at that point, then you're like, you can actually have the taste of flavor and you're like, oh, this is really good. It's light. It's not overpowering and you kind of get used to it. So just real light. It's not like a soda. It has nothing in it basically. Really good. They have a lot of flavors too.
It. I am, and this is kind of sidebar, but I used to drink a lot of Pepsi. It was something about it and sugar in it. And I moved into Coca-Cola. And as time went on, I actually had to go have my gallbladder removed because it's like frying sugar in a pan. And I had these gallstones and I'm like, what is that? And they're like, I guess just like kidney stones in a sense. And so that's what made me try to draw away from soda as well. Yep. But yeah.
I don't think I've had soda in like 7 years.
Really?
Yeah. No soda.
That's so awesome.
Water.
Every now and then I might crave a little, but yeah. I'm trying to think another beauty product. I like engraved eyeliner by MAC.
Engraved eyeliner. I've never tried their eyeliner before.
That's
I used their foundation and it broke my skin out. So now I'm using NARS.
Okay.
And I love NARS.
I love NARS.
Yeah, I love NARS. Their products are really good.
And there's a powder puff that I use when I'm doing makeup, and it's by my friend Calvin Myers. He's a phenomenal makeup artist, and he's created this velvet powder puff, and I love it because you can actually hold. And so your hands, because I'm big on sanitation, and so your hands aren't touching the client's skin, nor is it messing up the makeup. And so you can use it for powdering. There's so many different, ways that you can use this velvet powder puff. So I actually, that's one of my must-haves in my makeup kit. Calvin Myers.
Calvin Myers.
Shout out. Oh, yeah. He does everybody's makeup. But yes, so that's one of my must-haves that I have in my makeup kit for beauty.
Gotcha. Those are some good products. So for that person who is out there and they are so ready, on fire to get in the beauty industry, what is one tip that you have for them?
I learned this from a friend, Malva, planning and deciding, and if you're going to get into it and you're really, really serious about it, everybody's trying to get into it.
Yeah.
What is going to set you apart from the rest? What is going to make you and your brand different? I think that's really the thing. I mean, you have everybody doing it. You can do it because you love it, but what is going to make you and your brand different? What is going to make the people want to come to you as opposed to the other hundreds of thousands that are out here doing the same thing? So just planning and strategically, again, learning the business side of it. Because again, it's not just going in and saying, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
You have to hone the craft. You have to practice. You have to take on going classes, because there's always something new to learn. So that's what I would give as far as advice for somebody that's hungry for it.
Yep.
You know, plan, practice, do your research, you know, and study the business side of it, because that's really in the end how you're going to grow.
Yep, for sure. So is there anything exciting that you have coming up?
Oh, what do I have coming up? Turning 46.
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
You know, some women don't like to share their age, but I'm at this place where I feel like it's like a rebirth. And so even when it comes to Beauty Fetish and having a Beauty Fetish show, and then I have, you know, just makeup and lashes and all this fun stuff, I'm at this rebirth stage where I'm at this new creative, like, yes, what am I going to do next?
Love it.
So, yeah, the next thing is definitely more focused on the Beauty Fetish show with Sandye Lomax. And now that I'm feeling better,
Yes.
getting more interviews done and getting them posted and out there, and doing more exciting, I would have to say, I want to do more philanthropy work. And I want to do more of giving back. And so I'm excited about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited about that.
You have a story behind you, how you got started with your grandmother and she having cancer, and that's how you really got started with the lashes. So, yeah, that'll be great to see you out in the field working with other cancer survivors. Yeah,
Yes.
so we're
And we
excited
do that
about
kind of stuff too.
Yeah,
so
we do.
like, you know, makeovers and provide hair and everything else. So you'll definitely be part of our collab team,
I love it.
you know,
Let's do
to, you know, help create a story behind, you know, somebody that has had this problem,
Right.
and let's, you know, doll them up, make them have a great day, a week,
Yes.
and experience and everything else. So I think it's really important.
Count me
Yep.
in.
So make sure you guys go
Yes.
check out Sandye Lomax over at the Beauty Fetish in Midtown. What's your Instagram? How can people get in contact with you?
You can reach me at Beauty Fetish Biz, Bizz. My personal is Sandye, Sandye Lomax, and Facebook is the same. And I also have the Beauty Fetish Show on Instagram as well.
Yes. So make sure you guys follow her. Thank you so much, Sandye, for
Thank
hanging
you
out
guys
with
for
us. This was a
having
great
me.
conversation.
Yeah.
I had a good
This is so
time.
much fun.
And you added so much value. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Awesome.
And we'll put all her contact information in the show notes at hairbizradio.com. And before we go, because we're talking about lashes, I got some lash news for everyone to update.
Yes.
Lash news
Yes.
before we go. Okay, so a lot of our listeners, as you know, my mom's retired, but I had to bring her out of retirement because we got so busy, and I just need kind of that fill-in person. She helps like label edge control and like put away hair and all this other kind of stuff. So the other day, she's like, Michael.
Michael.
She's like looking around. She's here looking around. I was like, yeah, Mom, what's up? You know, and she's like, I think I want to try some lashes. Here my mom is 65.
Mama.
Mom wants lashes. She's like, I'm buy them. And I was like, Mom, I got you on some lashes.
Right.
Okay? She's like, well, she's going back up to Maryland to visit family. And she's like, can I also get an extra set for Terry, my aunt? You know? And I was
That
like,
is so cute.
okay, Mom,
That
I get
is
them. So
so
I didn't get
cute.
any of the dramatic or crazy ones. Just the real, you know, there's,
Right.
you have your different from 1 to 10 as far as light and natural to, you know, twerking nights out at clubs and whatnot. So I got her closer to the 1. So I'll make sure to give everyone an update. I don't know. She has no idea how to put these on.
Yes.
She's asking for referrals of what type of lash glue to use for strip lashes. So some of the girls, I think, have updated her on that. So we'll see in an
we'll
upcoming episode. Maybe I'll
That
let
is-
everyone
Yes,
know
keep
how
mom at 1. We don't want
Yes.
mom twerking
No.
right now, so keep her at 1.
Yeah, keep mom at the 1. Keep mom at the 1. So yeah, that's
That
my
is so
lash
hilarious.
news. But
That's
yeah, we'll see what
awesome.
happens. The
Oh,
mom,
go
you know, she's
Mom.
engulfed in the beauty business now. So now she's like even looking at my clip-ins, and I'm like, really, Mom? You know, she's like, oh, but when I was, you know, 18, we used to wear something and the hair this and the, you know, 60s, the big thing, bun or whatever. And all
Right.
this- oh, moms. Yeah, she's a
Shout out
baller
to
mom.
Mom.
though.
She's a
Yeah.
baller
She's
mom.
a baller mom. Wait till she gets the baller mom t-shirt.
Oh, so you have to get pictures like when she does like her before and her
Oh,
after.
if she'll let me take them, yeah. I have to sneak them.
Oh,
I
God.
don't know. Her and Auntie might be out now twerking
I
somewhere with
know.
those number ones on.
It's scary. It's so scary.
Lord.
Awesome.
But yep, so that's it, guys. Make sure you subscribe to Hair Biz Radio. I got to see if we're on Spotify, and I put on the applications for all that. So I don't know if we might even be on Spotify right now. I don't know. But you can definitely get us on iTunes in the podcast, and then, of course, Stitcher Radio for the Android users. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for being here.
Yay. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
This was
you.
fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay.